And again, I could see why you'd be mad with Peniel Joseph and all these other things. And because at some point, you know, like if you know these people, like you've had a conversation with them and they might have shut you down. And even my brother Jared might have felt like he was shut down, but it looks like Killer Mike is open to start talking again because he want us
to figure out how to get these 5 things done on a local, state, and bigger level. I don't want people to come out of this saying, "Well, I still don't like that nigga Motown," or
and I'm fine. Yeah,
I want people to see that Black people can disagree. We can even be disagreeable to one another, but ultimately we have to figure out a way to reconcile past our disagreements. I believe it's called Rosh Hashanah or something in our Jewish community, our homeboys. They get together once a year and ask each other forgiveness. This is how I wronged you. And at that point, your brother, sister gets to say, all right, we're forgiven, or they get to say no, and you get to come back the next year to say it's been 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I think we need a process because I don't want to not work with people I respect with the rest of my life based on the fact we didn't agree on an election in 24 or 26 or 16.
Hey man, listen. I think I think my boy ready to talk to y'all. Diallo, the olive branch is out, and you know you've been really harsh lately. Cuddly, and he ain't no killer, and he's like, are you ready to talk?
No, because he's conflating 2 different things. He's conflating 2 different things. He's like, well, you know, you ran over my rooster on the roadside, so let's Rosh Hashanah this shit, versus institutional and international power moves and disagreements about the very fate of our race. Those are 2 different things. Yes, you know, it's like Flavor Flav said, you slay my dog, I'm gonna kill your cat. Yeah, we can sit down and discuss that. But if you're advocating capitalism, which is genocidal, imperialist, and destroying the ecosystem, and you're advocating things that are subverting the very life-sustaining capacity of the planet Earth, it ain't no motherfucking Rosh Hashanah that shit. So God. I think to say that, oh yeah, we have these minor disagreements. No, we have these existential disagreements. I'm all for burying the hatchet for relatively minor disagreement or even major disagreements, but for these existential issues and just trying to play them off like, okay, let's just get back together after the next election cycle and do it again. So I think him conflating those 2 things is kind of wild to me, and acting like the disagreements are on that level. I don't accept it. So no, okay. I know he's trying to be a little more cuddly Mike.
Okay,
that is hilarious. Does he even have Rosh Hashanah right? I'm certainly not.
Wait, Jared. Shame on you, Jared. Slow down, Jared. We are trying to do this audition. Diallo failed, so we're gonna cleanse y'all palate, and we're gonna show you that Killer Mike is a changed man. He's bringing on people from his left, and they are disagreeing on live camera. So we're gonna play this, and then we're gonna see if Jared is willing to take this olive branch that Killer Mike, Michael Render is.
We don't have time for this, but you know me and you had a big old follow about the military, because that's another one you get wrong.
What? Tell me about the military.
Well, when you say we don't need to be sending off our boy, the military.
Because I say 2 things about the military.
Okay.
The actual military and serving in the military, I'm an advocate for and a respecter of. I think sometimes you confuse my ideological rants against war as anti-military.
You said don't send our people to the military.
And I said that because of what's going on in the Middle East.
Right.
And what I mean by that, and what I meant by that is, and again, that statement is really coming my nose at the oligarchs.
No, I got that's what I mean. You had a big fight about it. Yeah, and
yeah, I would like.
I'm pro-Roden. I'm just.
I think like whichever 5 families run each country, sitting there, their fucking kids into the glass.
But he took Call of Duty Pentagon money.
I had to intervene.
I didn't mind
to tell you
because I'm speaking of hypothetical, but in real life,
speak on hypothetical.
But I do though because I
cool. That's why me and you be arguing.
Absolutely, but my real feeling for military were always and will always be. Thank you for your service
But
and
it's
sacrifice.
powerful when you say that, Mike.
That's why I've never
But
said
when
it
you
again.
say
When I said
service
this
that
shit.
you
ain't
thanking
said
them
it
for,
in-
So
specific.
thank
we
you
said,
for
let's
coming on
unpack-
Conversate with Killer Mike.
You don't want to talk about this in front of everybody.
Thank you
Why
for your
no?
service
Can
and
I say
sacrifice.
this though?
Yes,
It
you
ain't
can.
about thanking me for my service. Black
And
people,
sacrifice.
no,
She's a
but
vet.
black people have to have a key
Yeah,
for
she's a
every
vet.
door.
I agree.
She's a vet.
The only time in this country where they have to treat me as halfway the same as everybody else
Tell us.
is through that
Give me
veteran
my
card.
Yes.
That is the only thing. See, why you're
So this wasn't for Teslin. Like I just want to tell you,
Nonsense.
Teslin is all the way of I don't know what
That's
Teslin is.
just absurd.
Why is Cutley even talking to her?
Because listen, Teslin is somebody who, as she said, like she be disagreeing with him, and he want to make sure that he won't suppress her. And you heard what she said, you don't want to talk about that. And he was like, I'm talking hypotheticals. Well, that's why me and you be arguing. So like Teslin is Charlemagne's worker as a real organizer, real lawyer, and done this and political commentator and did it boom. And so Teslin is over there, and he's bringing on somebody who's radical, and she's coming here.
So
to
you face racism and discrimination, and then you slap that veterans card on the table.
Wait a minute.
Has that been your experience, Dr. Ball?
Jared, don't answer that question. What you need to answer is: are you going to take the? Are you going to take the olive branch? Will you sit down now with Killer Mike since he's ready to talk and disagree?
Real quick. I got some moves to make. I'm sorry. Wow. She said the only time.
First of all, I can't, the question you pose is a bit itself scandalous in that the offer has never been made to sit down with Killer Mike. So at least from him, I had offered to host a discussion with him that he never wanted to have. But so as I said, when I first got wind of this, was that, he's willing, like many, to quote unquote reconcile with people to their right. The reconciliation never is sought to take place with people to their left, because the engagement with that level or form of conversation is not what conversate is for. So it reads, to Diallo's point, it reads as a way of circumventing or denying or trying to negate the fact that we have existential differences, crises of differences that need to be addressed. And it's not just a matter of, oh, you were a little rude to me or not. And then, by the way, it's funny to hear him say that, if in fact he meant it for people on his left, after he's done all these diss tracks, after he's gone on the Breakfast Club and cussed us out, after he's done all this other stuff. Now he wants to come back and talk to someone else, and talk to the right wing, and talk to about reconciliation, and can we, because he's felt a backlash. In a way, it's similar to the Robin Kelly and all of that stuff, because of that huge backlash, albeit in Killer Mike's case from black liberals, who felt he was going too far to condemn electoral politics in the Democratic Party. He feels he needs to reconcile with them and get back into the good graces of that liberal audience from which he's been.
I hope that don't work. I hope he fails at that.
I agree.
I wish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I call it Cuddly Mike. You sitting there. I don't like the military. I don't like the imperialism, but the people committing the war crimes.